Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, breaking news, culture, medic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Breaking news: Bloomberg, Coinbase gets SEC notice signaling intent to sue over crypto offerings. This comes on the heels of Gary Gensler basically saying that he believes that everything but Bitcoin is considered a security. And that makes absolutely total sense. But look, if you take a look, and we have the receipts for you guys. If you take a look at the percentage of revenue coming from, it's the first 2 minutes, so I can't curse, the percentage of revenue coming from altcoin trading volume, it's about 65% for Coinbase. Not to mention the fact that their yield products, their staking products are also under fire as well. So Coinbase is in trouble. We always say on Simply Bitcoin, live by the altcoin, die by the altcoin. So it's very, very interesting. But at the same time, the libertarian in me is kind of like, do we really want the government picking and choosing, what people can buy and what people can't buy? If people want to buy, a flaming pile of feces, so be it. That should be up to them. But it's just very interesting how this plays out. Obviously, the Bitcoiner in me is happy that one of the most predominant, I would even say evil, altcoin casinos, potentially their business model is under fire. So that's the Bitcoiner in me. The small government guy in me is like, I don't know how I feel about this. Anyways, we're gonna dive deep into all this. We also have a video of Jim Cramer basically saying that you should have bought Coinbase stock at 475. It's so ridiculous, man. This is he is the buy signal. Everything he says, do the exact opposite. Anyway, that's Nico's take. Before we start the show, I want to bring up my awesome co-host, always optimistic. Oh, it's after 2 minutes. Shitcoins. When I said altcoins, I meant shitcoins. Anyways, Opti, how you doing? Did you wake up optimistic this morning? I got a notification from Nihilus Fields, and he told me like, yo, and he sent me, he I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's pulling a yellow, bro, but he sent me a screenshot or a picture of you waking up, and you got a frown on your face. Is that true?
Well, I do feel very optimistic now. I had a very good steak dinner last night with some friends, had some chimichurri on it, so I feel wonderful right now. But hey, he might be right. I honestly didn't want to get out of bed this morning, but I got up anyways. I am the worst when it comes to getting out of bed. But hey, I get up early, I put in the work, and here we are. So hey, he might be right. Nihilus Fields he might have a camera in here. I don't know what's going on because how does he know?
I'm concerned. Like, is he in your crib? Like, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, what are we going to talk about during the culture, brother?
Oh yeah. Culture. I actually wrote an article this morning and I was having a conversation, like I said, last night at a Bitcoin dinner at my friend's house. And it was just kind of affirmations of everything we were saying on the show. And so I just wrote it down in an article and I kind of want to cover it today. And, continue to inspire people out there. I think we are correct and we will continue to be correct. And just the importance of being around people, like-minded individuals. And this is what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to read this comment by Thrift Fever. He says, Bitcoin is leading altcoins by 20% this year today. And I think that's a signal, right? On the verge of a potential banking catastrophe, people are finding security in Bitcoin, right? They see the calamity and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this chaotic mess. And, these people coming on TV and telling me, hey, there's going to be no inflation. The banking system is safe and sound. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. But there's a fire alarm and it's going off and it's like, but don't please ignore the fire alarm. It's not happening. Banks are fine. You don't need to go to Bitcoin. And then the other signal is on the verge of these announcements. You also have the Biden administration going out, which we covered on yesterday's show, going out and for the first time on the presidential economic report, going out of their way and dedicating 20 pages of that report advocating for, you don't need Bitcoin. It's not money. It only has perceived value. What you truly need is central bank digital currency. So again, I don't think that's a coincidence. Then, this banking calamity, Bitcoin's price is pumping. and they come out and, and they write that type of stuff. I think it's all related, but maybe I'm seeing things that are not there. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the numbers. We got a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by Nodl. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a Nodl through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, everybody. I also want to tell you about Bitcoin 2023. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth. Miami Beach, Florida, May 18th through the 20th, 2023. It's coming up. You can use, of course, we have a promo code for you guys. You can use promo code Simply to get yourselves a big discount. Speaker list includes the Chad Saylor, Jack Mahlers, Alex Gladstein, Arthur Hayes, Michael Lewis, Stacey Herbert, Matt Odell, Lynn Alden, and many, many more. You can use the promo code Simply to get yourself a 10% discount to Bitcoin 2023. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 28,475 sats per dollar, 3,511 block height, 782,160 reachable Bitcoin nodes, 17,419 blocks to do the halving, 58,840 halving estimate. April 21st, 2024, total Lightning Network capacity 5,437 31 Bitcoin capacity value, 154 million US dollars. And the realized monetary inflation is 1.76%. And the market capitalization of Bitcoin, $550 billion with a B. Anyways, guys, check out this post by Sophia Dahl. And I give a hat tip to this comedian, but it's Opti's ex-girlfriend, Christine Lagarde. So the tweet says, Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank, gets duped by Russian comedian / hacker pretending to be Zelensky. Quote, the digital euro is well on track, and the goal is to trace all transactions. There will be control. You're right. That was the quote from the video. I have it for you guys. Let's play it, and then we'll talk about it.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, Madam President, I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
We have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to...
Yeah, but you know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold. Above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. So you take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But, the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
The question is now I think that it's a joke, like a joke, that the next currency will be firewoods for Europe.
Will be what?
Okay, man. So first of all, shout out to that comedian. That's absolutely legendary stuff. But a couple things that I observed when she was talking about this, right? So first thing, why are people protesting? We have to control it. That was her answer. That's so nuts. Like, not even addressing what he said. It was just like, we just have to control it. Like, holy cow. Anyways, she mentioned the 1,000 euro limit, right? Yeah, the meme, you mess up, straight to jail. That's what I'm picturing. It's like over 1,000, straight to jail. Straight to jail. I love that meme. Okay. Anyway, so 1,000 euros. Why am I talking about the 1,000 euros? So in the MiCA laws, right? That was the laws that they want to implement on top of the controls or the limits that they want to implement on top of the Bitcoin industry in Europe. Now, the problem that they have is that once people take self-custody, how are they going to implement those controls? How are you going to stop someone from sending over 1,000 euros worth of Bitcoin? Like, that's a question, right? I love the fact that she just doubled down on there will be control. And it's like, you know what? For you peasants, the $200-300 limits, very small amounts of control, zero control. But you know what? That's dangerous because of terrorism. I mean, fine. Terrorism is bad. You could definitely say that 100%. But I would say, right, no, I'm not going to go there. You know what? I'll take it this direction. How many of the economic hardships that people are experiencing that pushes them to do atrocious and terrible things are caused by the broken money in the first place? Just a question, right? I'm not a fan, and this is my opinion, of the government dictating or controlling every single transaction that you want to do, because that also leads to a very dangerous territory. That leads to totalitarianism, right? These are the same people that are looking at what China is doing with their social credit system, and they're taking cues from it. What if I don't want to live in a world with a 15-minute city? What if I want to have a gas stove, right? What if I want to run a Bitcoin toaster, right? Like, what if I want to do those things? And they want to live in a world where the central bankers and their allies, politicians, want to control every single aspect of their of your life. And these are the same people that are going to the biggest quintillionaire conference of the year, the World Economic Forum, right? And, look at all the madness that's coming out of there. You'll own nothing, be happy. That's just one, right? There's so many crazy ideas that are coming out of there. Call me crazy. Maybe I want to live in a world where no one controls the money. No one issues the monetary policy. There is no benevolent bureaucracy that picks and choose what transactions are okay, what transactions are not okay, right? And what's never talked about are the unintended consequences of that system, right? If you live in Argentina, if you live in Venezuela, just because of the place that you happen to be born in, are you not entitled to use money or to save, to earn in a money that doesn't steal from you, that doesn't have hyperinflation? Because they don't have solutions to that. Their solution is, hey, we're going to be worried about Europe, and that's fine. But Bitcoiners are advocating for is a currency that, helps everyone equally all around the world. It gives them the opportunity and the ability to connect with the global economy, right? So, I mean, look, I think it's almost as if she had the response prepared, right? It's like people can't transact over 1,000 because of terrorism, right? And it seemed very well rehearsed, but I think the Freudian slip in the very, very beginning, and what I was paying attention to, is that $1,000 limit. And my memory was like, hey, I've heard that before when it came to the Mika regulation. Anyways, dude, this is your ex-girl. And was this why you broke up with her? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, hey, the hubris coming out of Christy.
She broke up with you. Did you tell her, Christy, I'm not okay with 1,000. I want 1,420. Okay, I want 1,420. That's my line. Anything below that, I can't deal with it. She's like, Opti, get out of here. Get out of here, Opti. Get out of here. What happened, bro? What happened?
There are strings attached to a sugar mama, and $1,000 just wasn't enough. No. No, in all seriousness, like, first and foremost, I didn't know that this was an actual troll. I saw this from someone else, and they didn't mention that it was a comedian, but it definitely felt like that, especially at the very end. What do you say? There's a rumor that the next currency will be firewood.
Yeah, like, with the Russian accent, it's like, so firewood.
that was absolutely like just the chef's kiss on it. But to the point of what she's talking about, I mean, again, it's very disgusting to see maybe like behind the scenes of what the powers that be, what these central planners think about and talk about within themselves. And she keeps saying the quiet part out loud. The digital euro will be controlled. It is a means to control you. And the $1,000 threshold, it's absolutely insane. What do we ask here on the show every single day? Why are we being forced to use a money that other people control? Why can't I transact freely with a money that no one controls? I think it's a very simple question and a very simple thing that I think as the modern human, we all believe that our money is free, that we are free to transact and do what we want to in the world. Of course, Europe is a little less free than us, so that's like kind of their thing. They are kind of leaning towards a little more of the collectivist ideals. But I think the most glaring aspect of this is, like I said in the beginning, Christine Lagarde's hubris. And it's quite disgusting. Like, these people feel like it's their rightful duty to control your life. I don't know about you, but like, I take personal offense to this because I think I'm capable of controlling my own life. Like, this is what I try to do every single day, is have sovereignty over my own life. Like, I can control my own destiny. I don't need these central planners to tell me the best way to live. I have a brain. I have a heart. I think that I am, trying to be as upstanding human citizen as I can be. And these people over here, these criminals, convicted criminals, telling us the best way to act, like, the projection is at an all-time high. And I think it just kind of goes back to what we keep saying, that they have lost control and they're scrambling for control. And we are living in a new paradigm, and this is due to Bitcoin. This is because everyone is taking their money into self-custody, opting out of the madness, building on a parallel system that they don't control. And furthermore, that the internet and social media has disintermediated their control over information. So in my opinion, it's becoming very obvious that they know they're lying. We know that they're lying. We know they have no control over anything anymore. And they're just scrambling to find some sense of control in this modern world where they literally can't do anything to us. Like, I'm just lucky I'm a Bitcoiner. My money is separate from this madness. These people have no control over my money. And hopefully your money is in Bitcoin, in self-custody, and we can just laugh at them. Because just think about the alternative. If we didn't have Bitcoin right now, like, this was the status quo. These people literally think they have the rightful duty to control every aspect of your life. Like, to me, that is absolutely disgusting. It is sickening. It's insane. It really blows my mind that this has been the status quo for hundreds, if not thousands of years of humanity. And here we are at this precipice of what the future for humanity holds. Like, it is going to be a brand new world. I was going to say a brave new world, but I don't want to lean into the dystopian talk here. But what do the Corey and the Swan Boys always say? The bright orange future. Like, it really, really is a hopeful future for everyone once you get on the Bitcoin standard.
100%, man. And bro, and look, I said it, I hate to say it again, right? But if you're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom. Like, I hate saying it. I feel weird saying it.
You're against Bitcoin. You're against freedom.
Oh man. But look, if you're advocating for what Christine Lagarde is advocating for, like, you want, either central bankers and politicians getting to dictate your life and what you can spend your money on, what you can't spend your money on. And I look, if history has shown, right, no one deserves absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what you're trying to say is that a government that has the ability to implement social controls via money is not going to do that to control society. Like, I mean, look at what happened in the US, even in the US with the constitutional protections, right? And First Amendment. The government still tapped on private companies like Twitter to censor certain types of information. Are you telling me they're not going to do the same thing with money? They're not going to weaponize the money for political means? Like, that's absurd if you believe that, right? Anyways, all right, everybody, let's get to news. We got a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions. Scan and display QR codes directly on the device to sign transactions and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as the Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, and Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin. All right, everybody, we were talking about Jim Cramer video in the very, very beginning, and I have it for you guys, and holy cow, is this guy, he's the opposite signal. Like, whatever he says, just do the exact opposite. This clip is absolutely hysterical. Let's check it out.
Play all the cryptocurrencies. It's going to have a tremendous scarcity value, but riding this one is going to be like a bucking bronco without a saddle, a real rodeo. My fear is that there will be so much initial demand, the stock will soar to a ridiculous level right from the get-go. And then, because there's no lockup on insider selling, you can see a tidal wave of profit taking that triggers a massive sell-off, similar to the Slack direct listing a couple of years ago. But that could create a fabulous buying opportunity as long as you're prepared to accumulate this one gradually. Now, I'd love it if you can get Coinbase in the low 300s, around 10 times sales. That seems unlikely. If you're willing to pay 15 times sales, not unreasonable, then this is a $475 stock. That's the upper end of what I'd be willing to pay for a large position. Still, you've got my blessing to put on a decent position at the opening, maybe half of what you'd normally purchase in one go, and then buy more, but only if it comes in. The bottom line, if you, like me, well, then you're a big believer in cryptocurrency, and you will want to own Coinbase for the long haul. Fortunately, by their own admission, this should be a ridiculously volatile stock. So if you're patient, you could eventually be able to get in at a good price. I say buy some tomorrow, ideally at less than $475, but I accept that some has to be bought. And then wait to buy more on weakness. And get ready for the bumpiest ride of your financial life. A ride I expect to be lucrative over the long haul.
All right.
Wait, when did that air?
So let's see how Jim Cramer's stock pick is doing. So quick refresher, right? He said on the I wouldn't be willing to pay more than $475, but you'll be lucky if you get 300. So let's take a look at what the Coinbase stock is today at $67. And then the low is about 30 something, 32. So if you would have listened to Jim Cramer, absolutely wrecked. Now, okay, fine. A lot of people are saying, okay, Nico, it's a bear market. What does it matter? Well, you have to remember, the vast majority of Coinbase revenue is coming from shitcoin trading. There's a Bloomberg article that says Coinbase says altcoins jumped to a majority of trading in quarter. Bitcoin and Ethereum made up 68% of trading volume in the fourth quarter, the highest percentage yet for the largest US cryptocurrency exchange, right? So this is trading volume by coin, right? And here it says other coins right here. And the vast majority of those other coins, we all know they're shit coins. If you add Ethereum on top of that, right, it's literally more than 70, 80%. So 80% of Coinbase's revenue is coming from Ethereum and other shit coins. Only a very small minority is coming from Bitcoin. And now this was always the story, right? You know, this has Q1 2021, Q2, Q3 2021, Q2 2021, Q1 2021, and Q4 2020. And it's actually, the Bitcoin volume is actually going down and the shitcoin volume is actually going up, right? So their whole business is based on shitcoinery, right? It's a shitcoin casino. And, you know, we always say it on Simply Bitcoin, right? If you do want to separate money from state, you need a cryptocurrency that is sufficiently decentralized, because if it's not sufficiently decentralized, it will inevitably be co-opted by government. And what we've seen, whether it's shitcoins like Ethereum, where the founder of Ethereum, Amy, she's on the foundation board, right, with Vitalik. She's sitting on the World Economic Forum, right? We saw one of the founders of Ethereum write a paper about how Ethereum could be used for central bank digital currencies. They inevitably want to ally with government because that's their only hopes of surviving the regulatory onslaught. We know that one of the founders of Bitcoin paid for a social attack on Bitcoin called cleaning up Bitcoin, right? Change the code, right? We've all heard that before, right? And this is the founder of Ripple, right? So, and then where have we also heard about how you need to change the code because of the environmental reasons, right? So it's interesting how the incentives align a lot of the time between, you know, these government social attacks and these shitcoin social attacks. But what I find absolutely hilarious is the news that came out recently, and that's really what we're going to focus on, is Coinbase gets SEC notice signaling intent to sue over crypto offerings, right? So, you know, they didn't say Bitcoin. We already know how Gary Gensler feels about Bitcoin. Here is a Crypto Slate article that, you know, that has a quote, right? So SEC Gary Gensler reiterated that Bitcoin is not a security, but a commodity under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission purview. He also stated that, quote, everything else other than Bitcoin is a security. So what this article is talking about is the SEC is suing Coinbase for offering security offerings, right? And if they're successful, even though this is probably going to, most likely it's going to take years, Coinbase has a tremendous amount of lobbying power in DC. Brian Armstrong is constantly posting pictures of himself in DC, right? So it's not like it's going to be a slow process. This is going to take years in the courts. But if the SEC goes its way, Coinbase overnight is going to lose 70 to 80% of their revenue model. And why is that? Well, they base their future, their company, on selling shitcoins to the public. And if you go to their app and stuff, right, they equate a lot of these shitcoins to Bitcoin, and it's a tremendous misservice, right? It's like if you have, it's a shitcoin casino, so they're going to use all the bells and whistles. If you're going to put Bitcoin next to Ethereum, next to Cardano, next to these things, what is the person that's just getting into the industry thinking, right? It's basic unit bias, right? If you see Bitcoin, it's currently sitting at 28,557. They're not listing it in Sats. What are you going to think? What's your first assumption to say? I missed the Bitcoin train. I'm going to get Ethereum at, I don't know what the price of Ethereum is, but I'm going to get Ethereum at what, $500, $1,000, whatever it is. Or I'm going to get one of these other shitcoin tokens where I can get it for cents, right? It's like, oh, I haven't missed that, right? So, it's a tremendous disservice. Look, if we are going to separate money from state, which is what Bitcoiners are focusing on, this is a distraction. This is distracting from what is actually happening, right? Anyways, like there's the speculation in the crypto space, and then there's the separation of money and money and state, which is what Bitcoiners are really focused on. Anyways, Coinbase Global said it received a notice from the SEC formally declaring the securities regulator plans to bring an enforcement action against the largest crypto casino exchange, the latest development in a long-running dispute between the watchdog and the digital assets company. The stock slumped as much as 14% in pre-market trading on Thursday. The SEC chair, Gary Gensler, has repeatedly said many of the tokens and products offered by crypto companies are securities. Not many. He said it right here in this article. He believes that everything else other than Bitcoin is everything else other than Bitcoin is a security. So it's not just many other tokens. It's every other token. These warnings ramped up after the collapse of several predominant companies last year, including Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX, left investors facing billions of dollars of losses. In a separate action on Wednesday, the SEC sued crypto mogul Justin Sun for allegedly violating security rules. Coinbase, in a filing Wednesday, said the so-called Wells notice has to do with aspects of its exchange, including an undefined segment of its listed digital assets, as well as the staking service Coinbase Earn and Coinbase Wallet. A Wells notice comes at the end of an investigation, and companies are given time to rebut the agency's allegations. They often, but don't always, lead to enforcement actions, either lawsuits or settlements and fines. At the same time, not every potential issue identified in the notice needs to be a part of an eventual action. So Coinbase said its products and services will continue to operate as usual for now. Quote, we are prepared for this disappointing outcome and we're confident in the legality of our assets and services. Quote, if needed, we welcome a legal process to provide the clarity we have been advocating for and to demonstrate that the SEC simply has not been fair or reasonable when it comes to its engagement on digital assets. Well, I mean, bro, if the vast majority of your cash flow is coming from shitcoin trading and yield, whatever, I would say that too, right? Trying to justify the shitcoinery. Here's a quote from a Brian Armstrong thread yesterday. He goes on to say, while we understand that this is part of the journey to reforming our financial system, we are right on the law, confident in the facts, and welcome the opportunity for Coinbase to get before a court. The crypto industry has been rattled by the uptick in SEC enforcement action since the beginning of the year, including a settlement with Coinbase rival Kraken and a Wells notice to Paxos, alleging that the Binance USD stablecoin it issues is an unregistered security. So look, I think that this is a combination of things. I think this is Gary Gensler. Obviously he's a fan of Bitcoin. And again, that's just what my observations are telling me. Is obviously not a fan of crypto. I'm sure that, the SBF blow up, FTX blow up had to do a part with it. And then more importantly, we also know how the Biden administration feels about the industry as well. So I suspect it's a combination of things. But man, if the SEC goes its way, Coinbase is in trouble. They built their business on selling shit coins. And now it's proven, because there's multiple Bitcoin only exchanges that have proven the fact that you can build a company, a successful company, a profitable company around just selling Bitcoin, right? So you can't, because that was one of the excuses that we always heard earlier on, right? It's like, look, we had to include shitcoins because that was the only way that we were going to remain profitable as a company. That's been proven wrong. Now, Coinbase has to live by, the shit grave that it dug itself, man. It has to live by it. Now, again, I said in the very beginning of the show, I'm not a fan of the government picking winners and losers. I think that it should be up to the people. I think it should be an individual taking personal responsibility over his life on picking and choosing what they want to do with their money. If they want to buy shit, so be it. That's not my problem. Anyways, dude, this is absolutely crazy. What do you think, Opti?
Well, first off, your last name, if they want to buy shit, by all means, you can buy the dookie. Anyways, I wouldn't want to be a shitcoiner right now. I wouldn't want to be holding unregistered securities right now, which is your shitcoin. I'm just glad I'm a Bitcoiner. Again, I think I say it all the time. We just get to watch the fireworks and hold the popcorn. But man, the inverse Kramer is just undefeated. Like, I just would not want Kramer to talk about my company, or, I think he's out there been talking about Bitcoin lately, but it's still like, man, everything he endorses just goes down the drain. It's almost like it's planned, man. Anyways, I again, like you said, I hate to see the government pick winners and losers, but Coinbase and Brian Armstrong have acted like enemies for Bitcoin Bitcoin for a long time. So I think this is the perfect moment to be saying to you guys, do not use Coinbase. Delete Coinbase. I'm just reminded of when I came into Bitcoin space in 2017, and you kind of brought it up too, like the unit bias of when you first jump into this space. Like, Coinbase was the only option, and I remember that very, very real moment where I looked at Bitcoin and I saw all the other shit coins on their platform. Like, oh, well, look, these are so cheap. I should probably buy some of these. And man, I would have saved myself a lot of headaches if there was an option to just only be Bitcoin only on their platform from the start. But hey, I had to I had to feel the pain to get to this point. But anyways, to one of the points, you brought up the tweet, and I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to mention that anyways. It's very interesting if you look at Brian Armstrong's perspective, because he keeps saying like Coinbase and Brian Armstrong and crypto, they want to integrate and reform the financial world, the fiat legacy system. Whereas like us as Bitcoiners, I hate being like the nihilist Bitcoiners, like let it all burn and we'll rise up from the ashes. But that's pretty much what Bitcoin is. Like, we want to fundamentally obsolete the fiat system and rebuild it in a better way. And this is what Bitcoin is. It's not about reforming and, updating the fiat system. It's because it's fundamentally broken. The fiat system is rigged and designed to work against you. It is designed to profit the insiders off the backs of the masses. Like, there's no reforming the fiat system. The fiat system is fundamentally broken. It is rigged against you, and there is no hope for it. So I don't believe in integrating and reforming the system from the inside out. Like, this is why we Bitcoin. is because the fiat system is broken. So let's not recreate fiat things with Bitcoin, or else we'll find ourselves in the same situation again in a few years. Like, Bitcoin allows for new ways of thinking, new business models, and it's going to take Bitcoin entrepreneurs, real Bitcoin entrepreneurs, to make it happen. And so this is kind of one of those moments where I think, as a Bitcoiner, Bitcoin only show, it is, I hate doing the like I told you so, but shitcoiners, we've been telling you this for a long time. And Coinbase, again, if Coinbase went down, I think that would be detrimental for all of the space, because they have been basically one of the front facing Bitcoin, shitcoin, crypto companies. And so it would definitely do a lot of damage. But I mean, hey, they have made their bed and they will have to lie in it. And they base their business model on a faulty. Yeah, exactly. Literally better than I could have said it. A faulty business model, and that is selling shitcoin. So, the unit bias is real.
Not to mention the moral hazard, right? It's like you're selling something that look, Brian Armstrong has been here for a very long time. Okay, he knows exactly what the deal is, right? So he's selling something that he knows, a lot of these shitcoins, all of these shitcoins, right? They never recover towards Bitcoin, right? Against Bitcoin, right? So he must know that he is selling something that isn't going to, it's not going to help people in the long run. And I think that, dude, like there's an ethics question there. There's an ethics problem there. Now, let's see how this plays out. I think this is going to take years in court. I don't think it's going to be a fast one. But if the SEC is successful and Gary Gensler gets its way, man, Coinbase is in a very, 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 very dark times, man. They're losing more than 60, 70% of their revenue, man. Like, literally. Anyways, everybody, we always talk about Bitcoin and the peaceful revolution. Well, look, you obviously want to partake in it, but the only way that you're going to benefit from it is if you and your Bitcoin seed make it over the finish line intact. And it's not going to do that if you put your seed on paper. You definitely want to put your Bitcoin seed on steel. And there's no better place to do it than the BitPlates Domino. They're designed to preserve Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases made from highly corrosion-resistant 316 marine-grade stainless steel, offering the ultimate protection against the extremes of temperatures. 10% off all BitPlate products using promo code SIMPLY. Look how thick that is. It's not going anywhere if you put your seed on that. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the culture. Let's do it.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. Swan has a new offer, guys. Let me tell you about it. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offers both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will get you set up with no transfer fees and no minimum balance requirements. This is real Bitcoin, non-ETF or other derivative. Get the real thing and get it at Swan. Go to swan.com/IRA for more details. And of course, you can always send me a personal DM on Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have. Anyways, Opti, I'm excited, bro. So Opti always calls himself, what is it, high level dumb? Brother, high-level dumbs can't write dope articles. So once again, I think Opti's selling himself short. Anyways, let's check it out, bro.
I like to underestimate myself keep the expectations low so that I surprise people on the back end. Okay, but yeah, to Nico's point, like I said in the beginning, I went and met up with some Bitcoin friends. I like to call them my Bitcoin family. I feel like they're going to be my friends for life. And it's basically because of Bitcoin. And I was having this conversation. I was talking shop with my friend, and we're talking about a lot of the things that we talk about here on the show. And I was doing my outline this morning of what I wanted to talk about right here. And it just kind of like turned into, wait, like this is an article already. So I just put it up on our Substack, simplybitcoin.news, and you guys can go read it. I'm going to kind of give you the spark notes of it. But it's basically back to what I continuously tell you guys on here. And again, I titled this Things I Realized with My Bitcoin Family. And the first thing that I realized, we had a friend come into town, and it really made me realize the importance of building a local community out there. Like, if you are the lone Bitcoiner, it's very lonely. And then once you build up a bunch of Bitcoiners around you, you know, maybe it's a meetup, maybe it's just hanging out with another Bitcoiner, maybe it's building a Bitcoin family yourself. Like, especially where we're at right now in this financial crisis where we find ourselves in the middle of, as the saying goes, you know, knowing your neighbor to ask for a cup of sugar is super important. And I've personally experienced this in my life. I literally, you know, like met Nico. This is how we are doing what we're doing here. I'm in a new city, doing a new job, creating a new life because I've leaned into the opportunity, and it's because I've surrounded myself with other Bitcoiners. So this is like the call of action where you need to surround yourself with Bitcoiners, because my friend came into town and he basically said the same thing that I'm going to tell you guys right now. Like, the amount of refreshing conversation you have with someone that gets it, it really will rebalance and center your life. Because if you're the lone Bitcoiner in your area, man, it gets lonely. You start to doubt yourself. You start to wonder whether you are correct. But when you're around other Bitcoiners, it's just a breath of fresh air. You're just like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Someone else gets it. I can, you know, be me, unapologetically be me. And I can start building stuff and building a community with other like-minded individuals. And as the saying goes, your network, or your net worth is your network. So you need to build a strong foundation around you, whether it is going to local meetups, whether it's creating a local meetup, or just hanging out with other Bitcoiners. Like, I cannot stress the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. And this is kind of the call of action. I know Bitcoiners are very big on their OPSEC and they're terrified to take these relationships off the internet. But I think it's very important to take your relationships off the internet, mingle in real life. You don't have to be friends with every Bitcoiner, but I'm almost positive that some of the people you are talking to online, if you haven't met them, they will be your friends for the rest of your life. And you guys will build a community around you that you want to have forever. And I think this is part of this whole creating a parallel system, parallel monetary system, is building your local community up so that you guys prosper no matter what is going on around you. You have people you can depend on, and that will make you better, that hold you responsible to you being the best version of yourself. So again, you can go read this, and I'm not covering everything. I'm kind of giving you as a spark notes. But anyways, the next thing, while talking shop with my friend Joe Rogers, who works at Bitcoin Magazine on the physical zine, we touched on something that we've been kind of talking about loosely over here, and it's the importance of branching out to other groups that aren't necessarily Bitcoiners, but they have similar worldviews. Like, you guys are having other hobbies. You guys do other things than besides talking about Bitcoin. You guys have other skills. And I think it's very important for us to branch out of our echo chamber. I think I say this every single day. Like, people out there are searching for solutions. I feel that everyone is kind of waking up to the idea that there's something wrong in the world. And most people, most healthy individuals, are open to solutions. They don't just want to complain. They actually want to fix things. And we have the solution, guys. So this is my call to action for you guys, of to branch out of just the Bitcoin echo chamber. Whatever you do, whatever you're into, spread the Bitcoin signal to everyone around you. And the point here is, though, like, don't be insufferable. You know, I know Bitcoiners, we always say, like, the Bitcoin fixes this, and we push the Bitcoin fixes this in every little square inch of the conversation. Any dead space, we're like, Bitcoin fixes this. Like, be informative, be honest, be charismatic, but also while you're doing it, like, be compassionate, look good, dress good, groom yourself. Like, don't smell, you know, get yourself fit, because your message comes across a lot more profound if you are someone that people want to be. What do I say? Be the shining example of being a Bitcoiner. Like, people notice the little things, guys, and this does affect the message of being a Bitcoiner. Look, I understand something very clearly. Bitcoin is still looked at as internet nerd money. And hey, for better or worse, this is where we are right now. So this is where I come into on my next point. It's like, make Bitcoin cool, guys. And this is a very, like, esoteric. I don't really have actionable advice here, because we are trying to do this in real time, and we're trying to understand exactly how to get this message out to a lot more people. And part of that is I can't think of anything cooler than Bitcoin, like a way to save your future prosperity, a way to save humanity. Like Bitcoin may seem boring. Again, it's internet nerd money, but what's the saying? Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. And we have the opportunity to build generational wealth, guys. Like provide the value, save in Bitcoin, build skills to increase your sat flow, like achieve, build, overcome. We have the power to create our destiny today. And it's going to take hard work. And to me, I can't think of anything more cool than recreating a better world. Like to me, this is what gets me up in the morning. This is what gets me excited. Is like Bitcoin doesn't have the glitz and glamour of the get rich quick schemes of the shit coins out there. But in this uncertain time, what do we say all the time? Having something as certain as Bitcoin's monetary policy, I think will resonate with a lot of people out there. And spreading that to more people is what I've dedicated my life to, and what I think all of you have dedicated your life to as well, because it's changed you. And what do people want to live? They want to live a good life. They want to live the best life possible. And to me, what is cooler than Bitcoin? Like freedom is cool. Living a good life is cool. Becoming a sovereign individual is cool. And more people need to know about this. Like go forth, spread the signal out there, because the world still doesn't get it that we have the solutions. Every generation, every era wanted to change the world, and they didn't have the tools. Well, we have the tools. It's called Bitcoin, and I can't think of anything cooler than that. So whatever you're into, just add Bitcoin on top of it. Go out there, mingle with other people, be a good human. I know, rough concept, very profound. Just be a good human out there. Spread the Bitcoin signal, live a good life, and this will spread out everywhere. Or, hey, if you just want to be a hermit on the internet, by all means, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, I think we are missing an opportunity as Bitcoiners to not spread this as far and as wide as possible by being a shining example of being a good human. And Bitcoin allows this for us, guys. Like Bitcoin allows us the opportunity to build for a future that we actually want to live, that we actually want our children to live in. And all it's really going to take is for you to save in Bitcoin, take Bitcoin into self-custody, become the best version of yourself. And personally, I can't think of anything cooler than that. But hey, I understand not everyone's like me. So do what you think is cool, add Bitcoin on top of it, and everyone will become a Bitcoiner in short order. This is the way. Spread the signal. People are wanting this solution, and we have the solution. So, I think it's a missed opportunity for us to squabble around certain nuances. We have big fish to fry here. The powers that be are coming after us consistently every single day. And I think just being a good human is the best way to spread the Bitcoin signal. People want this. People need this in life. And we have it, guys. So just double down, build a community around you, become the best version of yourself, spread the Bitcoin signal around to other people. But also, hey, maybe just think about not dropping the B word for a little bit, incept these ideas, ask people leading questions, get them thinking of why you Bitcoin. Because what's the question we ask here every single day? Why are we being forced to use a money that is designed to steal from us? Why are we being forced to use a money that a small group of people control? I think just asking these simple questions, people will wake up to the idea that, holy shit, I need to hold some Bitcoin. And if I want to prosper in this time, I need to hold something as certain as Bitcoin. So I hope I've inspired you a little bit. Get out there, get in touch with Bitcoiners, build yourself a little Bitcoin family like I have. These people around me, like Nico included, we are building a business. I have friends that I know are going to be my friends for the rest of my life, and we are on this mission together. What's the saying? You are stronger in a group of like-minded individuals than you are as the lone wolf. You are never going to get anything done as the lone wolf. You need to build a community of like-minded individuals, build up your network as we prosper going into the late 2020s. So we have this greatest opportunity, in my opinion, to live literally whatever your dreams are. If that's not cool to you, I don't know what it is, man. This is why I'm optimist. This is why I'm optimistic about the future. It's because I have Bitcoin and I have this opportunity, and we are acting on it in real time. And I don't know about you guys, but my life is only getting better. So I hope yours is too. Anyways, Nico, rant over. I hope you guys go read this on simplybitcoin.news. I barely just touched the surface. I kind of just ranted off the riff. Anyways,
Yeah, man. So
more Bitcoiners.
Yeah, dude. Opti's got to write more. Opti's got to write more articles, man. The last part that you said, I kind of want to touch on, right? Where you said that my life is just getting better, and I want to focus on that. NVK's handle, the CEO of CoinKite, makes the cold card. It sticks with me, and his handle is deterministic optimism. And tie this in with Opti. And if you think about like why that is, right? When you're living on a currency that is deflationary in nature, your savings and purchasing your savings and purchasing power grow over time, right? Most people aren't experiencing that. Most people are experiencing an inflationary mindset where their earnings, their savings gets diluted because they're earning in a money that the government could just print out of thin air to pay for wars, to pay for social programs you might not necessarily agree with. And Bitcoin is a protest against that. And once you adopt a Bitcoin mindset, like CK said it best, right? Once you change your operating system, your whole perspective of the world changes completely. And to touch upon like to touch on something else that Opti was saying was what happens when you change your operating system is that all of a sudden you don't really relate to a lot of people that haven't made that conversion yet. So it's important because I think a lot of Bitcoiners live on the internet, right? It's important to get into your local communities, your local Bitcoin communities, and really have that face-to-face, in-person interaction, because there are other people like you. There are other people that think the way you do. You're not alone in this fight. And our army grows by the day. And people using their system decreases by the day as more and more people wake up to the reality that money doesn't need to steal from you to work. And that is what we fight for. That is what we're trying to awaken people to, that reality, that new reality. And I truly believe, right, that when people wake up to this, Opti touched upon it earlier, right? Corey says it, the bright orange future. I think that is what we're heading towards. But the powers that be, the established players, are going to do everything they can to try to slow down this peaceful revolution, to slow down the adoption of Bitcoin. And you heard Christine Lagarde, you heard it. That's why we played it in the very, very beginning. It's that's the system you want to use, or it's Bitcoin, right? Those are your two options. This old cash thing that you're using with the bank and whatever, that's going away. It's going straight to CBDCs, right? The US they just announced that they're going to have the FedNow system ready in July, right? So it's that system or it's Bitcoin, and it's up to you, the individual, to choose how you want to live and what you want, what money you want your family to be using and saving in. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the meme review. I'm sure Opti's found a bunch of good ones. Let's check it out.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks. Kaboom.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did it. All right, guys, this is your favorite portion of the show where we cover and review your memes. So continue to tag us in the memes. Continue to drop the memes in our Telegram group. We are in an information war, and you guys are the frontline soldiers. Continue to get the Bitcoin message. in any way possible out there. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery, and we need to continue to put truth in art. We need to continue to ridicule the masses, or not the masses, the central planners, the corporate press, because hey, what do they have on their side? They have the $1 trillion campaign of memes against you. So continue to put truth in art. Continue. Really, the most important part, though, I think, is getting not only the truth in art, but getting the calls of actions. I'd like to see more calls of actions in the memes, basically telling people to stack sats, the pushing the wallets and the tools that we want. And I do have a few of them in here, low key. Anyways, this first meme is by @pleb_world. And I really felt this one because me and Nico kind of joked that every Bitcoiner has become a macro analyst lately. And we were kind of talking about it yesterday, and everyone's so focused on what Jay Powell is doing. And as a Bitcoiner, like, we don't have to do this. I know the Fed interest rates, the hikings and everything they're doing does affect the world. But as a Bitcoiner, we're really unaffected. Yes, it's going to affect the Bitcoin price here and there, but in the long run, we know where the Bitcoin price is going. It's going upwards. Anyways, back to the meme. This is by Pleb World, and he goes, breaking, Fed hikes interest rates 25 bips, and we got Squidward sunning with his Bitcoin sunglasses on, and he looks, he's raised at 25, yeah, whatever, puts them back on, continues to sunbathe. This is, I feel like, the Bitcoin energy when you just stack sats and stay humble. This next one, again, I know, you may be thinking I'm being hypocritical because I'm dunking on Jay Powell and continuously dunking on the Federal Reserve meeting. But anyways, this next meme is by Macro Minutes, and he just goes #FOMC. And we got someone that is hitting 2 buttons on the soda fountain machine, and the hand is Jerome Powell this week. And on the left side, we have shrink balance sheet soda, and on the right side, we have expand balance sheet soda. Which one is it, Jay Powell? Are you shrinking the balance sheet, or are you expanding the balance sheet? It's almost like he's doing both at the same time. I wonder how this is going to affect the monetary policy of the world. It's not looking good. Anyways, this next one is by our friend Austin Herbert, who was on the show. I think it was last week. Every show is just one big blur at this point. And he goes, the banks were too big to fail. Now Bitcoin is too big to fail. And we got the classic meme of the guy bending down with the peace sign over the dead body, over the tombstone. And the guy is the Bitcoin logo, and the tombstone is the banking system. Bitcoin just stays winning. It's too big to fail at this point. Good luck trying to kill Bitcoin. Good luck telling us not to run our nodes. This next one is by my buddy Weinicus under the BTC Kindergarten account. Creator of open source memes. And I asked him, wait, is this your meme or did you steal it? He just responded, open source memes. It's a good meme. Whoever made this one, shouts out to you. And it is a bank teller. And it goes, welcome to the UBS, Credit Suisse, SVB, JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, HSBC, Lloyds, Barclays, Bank of America, Japan, China, and Europe Incorporated. How may I help you? If you don't get the meme, it is because every little small bank is going to get consolidated into the big 4 banks, and we are going to be left with just giant banks. It's almost like it's planned this way. Anyways, this next meme is by my buddy Jimbo Coin, aka Jimbo the Consensualist on Twitter. And I really like this one. Again, this is a tweet. And he goes, breaking. Despite turmoil and legacy fiat, Bitcoin node operators unanimously agree to cut block subsidy next year exactly on schedule. Oh my goodness. This is why you run a node. You don't have a small group of people messing with the monetary supply. It is almost like we know what is going to happen in the future. Neutral money that no one can F with. Anyways, this next one is by Maxie's Club, and it just goes 27. And this is part of what I was telling you about putting the freedom tools in the memes so that more people know what to use and how to use them. And we got a Pepe the Frog Bitcoiner, and he goes, how I feel when I check my bank account, and he looks broke. He's in a broke room. His bed's barely holding together. His couch is barely holding together. And then on the bottom, it goes, how I feel when I check my Bitcoin wallet and everything's sparkly and gold. And on the computer, it's got Sparrow Wallet logo on it. This is the way. Your bank account should have no fiat in it. And your Bitcoin wallet should be growing every single day with more sats. I felt this one. Shout out to Maxie's Club. This next one is by @Raj Hodl, and it goes, It's always has been Bitcoin season. And we got a picture here from Harry Potter. And we got Harry over here as a shitcoiner. And I forget what the redhead guy friend's name is. And it says no coiner. And then at the bottom, we have Tom from Tom and Jerry on, I think it's a rocket. And it's Bitcoiners with laser eyes. We are coming for all the shitcoiners and no coiners just by winning, continuously winning.
Bitcoin stays winning, bro.
Bitcoin stays winning. This next one is by Anil Sadso. Sorry, bro. You can't speak. I apologize. This one's a little more, in depth, but he just puts a tweet and he goes, the printing press ended the Catholic Church monopoly on knowledge creation. Bitcoin ended the Federal Reserve's monopoly on money creation. And we got a picture of the printing press. And this is just what we continuously say on the show. You don't have to partake in the madness that is the central bank money, the IOUs, the debt-based monetary system. We have an equity-based system that is Bitcoin.
Boom.
It is almost like it is the best money in the world. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat as we cover them live.
Yeah, before we give our meme scores, guys, check out audio version of this show, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain. If you're on the go, you could listen to Simply Bitcoin.
Wait. Was this your meme, Rob? Was the BK meme with your meme? Wow, wine stealing your memes. Okay.
I'm going to give it a hair cutting scissor.
Is that how you trim the beard?
No, I go to a barber.
He doesn't trim the beard. Okay. All right. My meme review score for today is the new Bitcoin mag, the broke issue with Sam Bankman Fraud as a pig on the cover.
It's an ugly one. It's an ugly one because of the SPF. They did it on purpose and they did a great job, but
they killed it. Killed it.
If I saw that at night, I would jump in terror. It's a jump in terror. Yeah, dude, their other zine covers are so beautiful. And
they're killing it.
They put SBF on front. I'm like, ah! Oh, man. Okay. Anyways, everybody, also check out our clothing sponsor, Represent LTD. Check it out. They sponsor the meme review. Beautiful Simply Bitcoin merch. Simply Bitcoin Represent. This is sold out, but I think the t-shirt is still available. Opti's wearing the Bitcoin merch, and they got a bunch of other stuff. Check out representltd.com. Promo code Simply-Bitcoin. All right, everybody. So let's get to it. But first, that's not the music.
That's
All right. Bear with me. There we go. Take the ride. I give the memes a yellow bowl cut out of a Powell movement.
No. Yellen bowl cut out of a Powell movement.
All right, Elaine, my score, my happy and secure Bitcoin life setting, an example of how Bitcoin is the way. All right, next one.
Perfect.
Where's the next one? Oh, Mr. Robot, rate the memes on one peer-to-peer transaction, F exchanges. Very, very nice. Next one, the P-Man van. I give those memes Chrissy in a gimp suit.
Oh my, sorry. I didn't read that. I haven't read it.
Rating those memes last awesome BK episode.
The one with Rope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When's Rope coming on Simply? He's got to come on.
Yeah,
Simply.
Rope.
All right.
I sorry, Nico. I haven't hit him in the DMs yet. So Rope, this is the open invitation for you coming on the show. All right, wait, one more. We got one last one.
One more. Nigel, I give the memes a stainless steel seed plate buried in the garden. Ooh, very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. We appreciate your guys' support. We love it, in fact, and we wouldn't be here without you all. And of course, our awesome sponsors that power the show. We appreciate all you guys. In fact, we love all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. If you feel like we provided you value, consider subscribing. With the number one thing you could do to help push this peaceful revolution forward is share this video. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. Spread the orange signal. And remember, stay away from shitcoins. They're bad for you. Stick to Simply Bitcoin. We'll see you tomorrow, guys, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you want to join the after party, join our Twitter Spaces, which we co-host with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin, best place to build your Bitcoin stack. And we're hosting it all the way to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to the best producer in the game, producer Jacob. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Brand new episode, Simply Bitcoin Live.